Imaginative defense. Did that human just hit my ship? Admiral Carney of the Sega Empire peered out of the viewport, his voice tinged with disbelief. His ship, the Gaveron, a superstar dreadnought 10 kilometers long and brimming with every weapon the galaxy had to offer, was being propelled backwards past the fourth planet of this insignificant solar system by a man dressed in a blue suit and red cape. The crew, initially stunned, began to regain their composure and halt the ship. "Sir, what should we do?" His second-in-command looked at the screen in disbelief. That hit destroyed the forward shield generators and the forward main cannon. Hey, that has to be a hologram. Scan for whatever weapon they use and send in 2 frigates to destroy whatever that thing is. His order was followed, and he saw 2 of the frigates that had been held back speed past him, launching rockets at the target, only for the rocket to be blasted by some red laser from this human's eyes, according to the video feed. Are you seeing this? What in the 5th unholy hell is this thing from? Is it a droid? Scans say it's biological, and there is no technology detected, and according to our files, it looks human. Looks human? Admiral Carney turned to the science officer. Does that look like a normal biological being to you? Those rockets are made of duranium. We can launch them through a damn sun if we want to. He turned to see this human grabbing a frigate and slinging it towards them. The other hightailed out of there, jumping into light speed in whatever direction they were facing. Smart kids, he thought. Brace for impact. Brace for impact. But the shields. His first officer looked at the helmsman as he shouted out the warning. Admiral Carney sighed and looked at him. He destroyed them, remember? Move the ship out of the trajectory, turn the ships around and get us out of here. We can't fight that thing. What about the shield? We can't jump without a shield. Have a support ship land on bow and have them extend their shields over our damaged area. Then, let's get out of here. Sir, the human is approaching us. The words made it go cold down his spine. How could that thing, man, move that fast without any tech? Is he attacking? He managed to keep his voice calm, but he was getting worried. Was he to die here? In what was supposed to be a simple invasion to teach the recruits how to do the job? No, he is just watching us. The words calmed him down. Maybe they could survive this. It was a defense system. It had to be. So if they just left, it would leave them be. Then, ignore him. And let's get out of here. When he finally had time, he went over the reports. Earth was not supposed to have such a being as its defender. He had never seen or heard anything like this. This might cost him his job, but there was no way in the 5 unholy hell he could ever win over that. He logged the report and got himself a drink. He looked at his own fist. The green muscular fist would never be able to do something like that. They will cut his horns and blind his third eye for this, but he would survive. He could leave the Navy and find a job on a starbase far from the capital planet. Yeah, it might be for the best. He got out the pad, wrote down his resignation, and sent it to the headquarters. 5 years later, Jar Carney had been working as a bartender at the Guston starbase for 5 years now, a trader base that saw creatures from all over the galaxies. Here, nobody knew or cared who he was, though he had heard the stories about the Admiral who quit his position after attacking Earth, and a single human beat them back. It was a very popular story among some of the travelers. The only thing Jar found funny was that they often got the species of the Admiral. In fact, mostly it was somebody else than a Cuna like him. It tended to change. Lately, it was a female admiral of the Surian Empire. Carney had to smirk at how the story had changed. And then he turned to the new Surian bartender, Saris, a young woman with a serious face who always kept to herself. She was pretty for a Surian. Her soft yellow and black striped fur and the short tail made her cute, and her feminine movement had already made a few brave patrons try their luck. However, she ignored them all. Hey, I didn't know you guys had female admirals? She froze as he spoke, and Jameer, the local drunk, chuckled. Only if they are royalty. They are given a fleet and told to show what they can do. But this time, this princess went to Earth, which was such a stupid choice. I thought they had learnt by now. He then winked 5 of his 15 eyes at Saris. Both Carney and Saris turned to him and said in unison, "What?" Jameer laughed and finished his drink. "I'm the Funasta Admiral they spoke about last year. Unlike the smart invaders, I managed to land on that cursed planet. And while that demon tore through my fleet in space, I had to face something even worse. We set up a teleport point and just started to send in our mech units. They suddenly faced a green giant behemoth of a human. The more they shoot at him, the stronger and more dangerous he became. Then, we launched our troops and drone fighters. The humans responded by sending in more of these demons. First was a man in red who ran faster than we could see. Then man dressed in old armor and a hammer of all things came. He controlled the weather, and everywhere he struck was also hit by lightning from a clear sky. The green behemoth and the hammer guy are just as strong as the demon in the sky. They just can't fly like him. Besides the red blur that will zip around and disarm your troops, the ground support of those two monsters is a few other demons. There is a man with metal claws that could heal any wounds we inflicted on him. He is aided by a woman who tore through our men like they were paper. We had managed to defend the teleporter, so we poured in our drone clones. It didn't matter. He took another drink as he got lost in the nightmare that would follow. It took a second before he continued. The worst happened when night came. They made the dead rise to fight, led by some bloodthirsty beast who drained our officers. Then came the humans, who turned into predatory animals and were immune to anything we threw at them. At that point, we finally had enough and ran away. We teleported home since all our ships had been destroyed and destroyed our side of the gate. So, of course, I was expelled. He smirked, showing more of short teeth. But I had recorded too much evidence for them to ignore it, so we sent spies to try and find a weakness in their defense. And then we found out we were not the first to face them like this. He held out his glass for refill, which he got. We discovered that they have defeated at least 8 invasions this way. And he stopped for dramatic effect. We discovered their weapon. Those monsters are not real. Well, they are real, but they are the result of human imagination. They have this technology that allows them to pull their, what's the word? Now I remember superheroes and monsters from their books and movies. And for as long as people needed them, they would protect them from the enemies of the Earth. You see, they vanish once the invasion is over. Then the humans plunder the battlefield for tech. He chuckles as he looks at his clawed hand. Yeah, so here we sit. 3 admirals fracked up by imaginary monsters because nobody would believe it before seeing it with their own eyes. I mean, would your rulers believe such a fracked up story?